Everyone, welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs, the 4-time Retailer of the Year. David Nuno in studio, the Rollo Insurance Studio. Nick, favorite part of the show?
Probably the fan show.
Why?
Why not give the fan show guys some props? Why not?
But I need a reason. You can't just say the fan show because
I always like Roy May's takes. Matt Browning was very surprisingly Debbie Downer today. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer.
Kevin Ricketts, he was good. Made his
He knows
debut.
how to shoot guns, so I'm in.
Yeah, he's a gun shooter, and he got me run over by Cal. So that was fun. We had that on the show. Anything else, Nick? Because I didn't get an email, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm bad at my job. We had Olin Buchanan, of course. Don't know how we got him. Michael Earley previewing the Kentucky series, and AT, your best friend.
I love AT. That and more. It's the Rewind. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. Obie, let's talk a little football, shall we?
Let's do.
Okay, so we won't be able to hear from Coach Elko, but you did ask him yesterday about the defense and some of the changes that he made, and I'll kind of, maybe you can sum it up a little bit. Bottom line is, it's something that they took very personally what happened, and not just Coach Elko, the entire coaching staff, and they're working on it. But 3 practices in, let's give it a little time.
Yeah, that's true. And I was asking him about his post-game press conference in Las Vegas when he just went off on A&M's inability to play zone defense. And, what steps have you taken to rectify that situation? And,
how they teach it, how they do it.
And that's what he talked about.
Yeah.
And plus they brought in people, so it's been I'm sure it's something that they've worked on in some degree ever since they got back from Vegas.
Yeah.
And I hope so.
Yeah. Well, because when you think about A&M and what they can be this year, I think there's a couple things that come up. People question the defense for good reason. Mm-hmm. People question quarterback play. Not that they don't think Marcel Reed is good, because I think Marcel does get a lot of props, but he's not in that upper echelon of what SEC quarterbacks are expected to be.
Yeah, which always makes me laugh. Not because he's not considered or rated as here's going to be a great quarterback, but DJ Lagway, who I love, by the way, is. And their numbers and their playing time
very similar.
Are very similar from last year.
I think I've said this before. I think part of that is when you win at the end of the year, that's what people remember. And when you lose at the end of the year, that's what people remember. And people remember A&M losing in November and in December. And DJ Lagway, he won towards the end of the year.
Yeah, he took live at bats yesterday. He's been running. He got to run this morning, which will be a big, he should be good. Should be good to go. What that role is, we'll have to decide. We got to kind of ease him back into it. So just depends on how he feels and what we feel like we can do. That we don't want to get him back and then get him hurt. So you'll see him as of this second. You'll see him in some capacity at some point this weekend, I would think.
Really good news. And I guess since we're jumping right into it, Coach, I'll stick with the injury updates. We didn't see Gavin Cash on Tuesday night against Houston Christian. His back was tensed up. What's the latest on him? And then also Josh Stewart. What's an update with him?
Yeah, Gavin didn't practice yesterday. Got on some anti-inflammatories. He'll go through a light cage routine today, and I anticipate him to be available for Friday. And Stewart is still the same. He won't pitch this weekend, and we're just not making the progress that we need to get him back out there. So he's grinding, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but it's just not really working out for him currently.
Now that we've got the injury updates out of the way, Coach, obviously a big day around baseball with the big league season beginning today. So for you, as a baseball guy, understanding you're extremely busy running your own program, what's the intrigue for you? Is it watching your childhood club? Is it watching your former players? And how much big league ball do you actually get to take in now?
Not that much. I'll have it on at home maybe for some background noise, but no, I got a couple of former players. That one guy made the team for the Cubs, so super excited for him. But other than that, no, man, I do not enjoy it as much as I used to. That's for sure.
Talking to Michael Earley here on TexAgs Live. Coach, going back to the Houston Christian win, the team showed some positive signs offensively. How do you kind of carry that success to the SEC series this weekend against Kentucky?
It's just about being aware of the situation you're in and competing. And I thought they had some good moments as far as some 2-strike counts. But we still at times put ourselves in situations where we shouldn't have gotten those counts. But it was good. I mean, it's always good to get a win for sure. Like, never going to complain about a win, but we're always continuing to try to get better, like, no matter what. And
Arkansas and Tech, I think it's one of your most anticipated games. To me, the way Arkansas is playing right now, man, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go with them again.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's funny. I said on all my platforms, I thought the day the bracket came out, St. John's, that was the one team St. John's did not want to play because the way St. John's defends, there's no defense for 3 or 4 guards that can get to the rim and then having 3 or 4 7-footers that can offensive rebound. But I give Coach Cal credit. I was talking to somebody about this last night, is whatever you think of him, I was thinking about this, is that basically, I mean, they were 0-5 in the SEC. And what you got to remember is outside of one player, nobody was at that university at this time last year. And so 3 guys follow him from Kentucky, and it would have been easy for that team. 3 guys follow him from Kentucky, 3 recruits who had never visited Arkansas until he got that job. It would have been easy for all those guys to just kind of say, yeah, screw this place. I didn't really want to be here anyway. I'm hitting the portal as soon as the season ends, whatever. And I think they've actually been pretty good for about a month now, starting with kind of that game at Rupp Arena. But they're playing their best basketball. They match up well. Texas Tech, for people who haven't maybe watched them as closely, they got the Big 12 Player of the Year, J.T. Toppin, who was originally from he went to New Mexico last year. But he was the Big 12 Player of the Year, but they don't have a ton of size. The thing with Texas Tech, they get really hot from 3, and they get really cold from 3. And so I think the big thing is you can't let them start the game 7 of 10, 8 of 11, because, you'll be down, 22-12 before you even know it. But if you can withstand that, you're going to be in good position. I think that's going to be the big X factor. I think Texas Tech shot something crazy like 45 threes in their opening NCAA tournament game. And, if they get super hot, it's like anything else. They can beat anybody. If they don't get hot, Arkansas is going to be in pretty good shape. But they are playing really about as well as anybody right now. And I'm kind of with you, David, I think Arkansas can win that game, get to an Elite 8. I don't know if they can potentially beat Florida if they do get there and what would be an all-SEC Elite 8. But that is a team that's playing good basketball right now.
I agree with that. What a fun team to watch. Love those guys. And the scoring drought in the second half against Michigan was very disappointing. And would love to have seen them play in the second weekend. Didn't happen.
I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Roy, what do you think?
Well, I think it's interesting because, you touched on it, and I think it's a consensus. We're not a basketball school. Like, I think we all understand that.
Mm-hmm. I think we should be more of a basketball school.
I think we should
we
be.
We want to be. I think we want to be.
So, but I think this year, I think where it comes from, and again, I think this was a successful season. I think preseason, it was excitement. I don't think that anybody necessarily had any specific expectations. We were just like, man, we're going to be really good this year. Let's see where we end up. And then we got that middle stretch of the season. We're like, man, now we should be a Sweet 16 team. We need to be an Elite 8 team with this team. It's got to be. And then all of a sudden we hit the skid, and then you get the one and done in the SEC tournament, and of course it's against the Sips. And so all of a sudden these expectations change, and everybody's already starting to say that, oh man, we slipped to a 4 seed. This is a disappointment. This is a failure. And it's not by any means, because being a 4 seed at Texas A&M, given the resources that we honestly allot towards basketball, I think a 4 seed is pretty damn good. But then again, like, it's just kind of this tumultuous roller coaster. Go out and beat Yale, no problem. You're thinking, all right, Michigan plays dirty basketball. I think it was a good matchup for us. So it's like this roller coaster of emotions. So it's easy coming off the Michigan game to say, man, what a disappointment of a season. But the reality is it's a successful season with a wildly disappointing end to it. And not just the game, the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a success.
The last 13 minutes.
Yeah. It can be a success, but we can still be disappointed.
Yeah, the second half.
100%. If you take that and you couple that with baseball, and then you couple that with The end of the football season.
I want to go there for a second because I think that's an interesting point. But before we go there, I think had you told me Texas A&M before the season will make it to the second round but lose with that team, I would have said disappointing year.
Yes, I agree.
Before the season.
Of course.
As I saw things play out, I'm like, this team has too many scoring droughts to really count on them for a run.
We knew the warts, and we saw them, and we knew this was coming. I mean, no one was surprised by it. Let's put it that way.
And all right, Nick, tell the people what they should do.
Like, comment, subscribe, and happy opening day.
Hey, you had a like I heard like a little like
Sorry.
walking pneumonia. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, good. We'll see you next time.